So, first question is, what is your name?
Albert Sharp.
Albert Sharp. For those of you guys don't know, it's my father, BGOSB. Um, Second question is, what is your relationship status?
Single, very single.
Single as a Pringle?
Single as a
Single
Pringle.
Pringle, man.
Single as a Pringle. All right. And then the third question is, what do you do for work?
Adult cardiologist, medical doctor.
Medical doctor, adult cardiologist. Got it. And what do you do for fun?
Everything. I exercise every day. I eat very healthy, a lot of vegetables. I study 1 hour a day my trade, like LeBron.
Like LeBron.
Something really funny or entertaining, or read something that makes me laugh 1 hour a day.
Mhm.
And I stopped smoking cigars 3 weeks ago.
Sounds like he's on the right path, huh?
Love to hear
Well,
that.
so instead of that, I'm spending the money on my kids and grandkids and taking them out for dinner once a week.
Love
Even
that.
better.
Family.
Good stuff. Family
Just
man.
don't
Tell him.
Oh boy.
Probably
All
eats
right,
better than Joe.
and then
Wow.
probably eats better than Joe. Good looks. Huh. All right. That's where I get it. Okay.
Good looks.
So we were going through the challenges before. Joe unfortunately did not do his challenges, which we're gonna work on. We're gonna get him back into shape, and he'll be getting those done next week. Maxwell did a last minute mess up.
Wait, dude, guys, does that count, bro?
Bro,
I
yes, it
literally
does.
just had McDonald's an hour ago. I was clean all week. Matter of fact, I was so clean all week. I was literally just eating steak tips and like chicken and like salad and fruit and vegetables for the past like week and a half.
That still counts.
Anybody got anything to say, or is that a failed challenge?
Fail challenge.
Technically,
It was an hour ago I had this McDonald's. But
listen. Are you an awful human being? Did you eat wrong and you're gonna get fat? No, you did right. But the challenge was not to have any unhealthy food, and you had it, so you failed the challenge.
damn,
Don't beat yourself up too much. You still did good.
I did do good.
You did good. And I actually did not fulfill my challenge. I haven't mentioned that yet. My challenge was not to gamble a single thing.
And you failed.
But me, Max, and this one other friend recently started a new side business hobby that doesn't require gambling, and I've been strictly no gambling these own plays. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't take the first one. The first day I was getting into it, I did gamble on that, and then I stopped again because I ran the numbers again and realized how ridiculously impossible it is to win in sports gambling.
Jesus, so we all failed, and
So
I'll
we
tell you
all
guys
failed.
right now, Ellie was doing good on his no corona for the week, about 2.5 days in, and then he just lost it all in one night. So we are 0 for 4. BGOSB, did you? And we got to text Sammy or Pasta or whatever. BGOSB, did you complete your challenge?
I don't think BG had a challenge.
BG definitely had a challenge. I remember.
What was his
Just
challenge?
say yes or no, and we'll know. I'll let him say it if he wants. Oh, here you go.
I remember the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said must have been a slow week for us because I low-key
Fumbled at the goal.
Yeah, Joe, read it out.
But you gotta walk before you can run, so we can bounce back better than ever. All right, yeah. So he failed as well.
100%, yeah.
So
It was
we're
our
0
first,
for
honestly,
6.
this was our...
BGOSB, are we allowed to say what your challenge was?
No, let it be, let it be.
Let it be.
Yeah. So
I need
we
to
all
know.
fumbled. Relax, man. He'll text
I
you.
mean, yeah, okay.
So
We all fumbled,
yeah, damn.
and we need to lock in.
That's not great.
So
But-
guys, no lie, I don't care. All right, I feel like it's important to keep everyone informed. So
It is
BGOSB, his challenge was to not. Y'all can hold me accountable. We all homies, yeah.
Yeah.
His challenge was to not masturbate,
Crank the Johnson.
crank the Johnson, because he has a bit of an issue with it. So that was his challenge. If you wanna go into detail in the chat on like what was the hardest part about it, like what made you fumble there.
Well, let's think, dude. We all fumbled because this is our first challenge in like a long time.
Yeah, it was.
It was our first one in so long, and we had to do it for longer because we missed last week's pod.
That's
Or
true.
we pushed it back to today.
Guys, something tells me next week Thursday we'll be having another podcast. We're all gonna say
Yeah.
we've completed our challenges. YouTube BGOSB.
Everyone, this is gonna be by Thursday. We'll talk about this at the end though. Let's get into topics now. I think it's time.
Before going into a topic, we do have to video. We do have to go. We do have to create a new challenge. So the whole point of the challenge
But
system.
let's do that at the end, no?
Yeah, I mean we normally just do it. Yeah, you think then.
I say let's do it at the end. I say let's get into a nice juicy topic, kick things off. You do this into the end.
All right. You guys ready for topic number 1?
Joe, can you move your picture a little bit higher? You're blocking me.
Joe, are you there?
That's like duck down.
Hey,
That's
KTA.
kinda- Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you go.
Yeah, Joe, turn your mic up.
Can you not hear me?
Well, KTA Bill. Nice to see you, man.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
we curious.
Oh,
All right, perfect.
all right.
Yeah, Joe, that's perfect.
Am I better now?
We
Am I
good.
better? All right, I just got to
Yeah.
speak into it, I guess. Dang. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we ready for topic number 1? Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
KTA Bill, welcome to the chat. So topic number 1. We're gonna talk about how hard life can be and what the proper mindset is to have to get over those hard times. All right, because everybody gets tested at some point in their life, whether you believe it's through God, through coincidence, you go through rough times. And there's not a single person in this entire world that's lucky enough to not have those rough times. So what's the mindset to get over those holes? I think it'd be proper to start with the guest on this one.
Absolutely.
It's we here on the NGL Pod we kind of form better thoughts as we speak. So don't feel pressured to have everything set up. You can.
No issues.
All right, let's run it.
And don't lie. Don't feel like you
NGO stand for again?
not gon' lie.
NGL.
NGL.
And
Not
yeah.
gonna lie, we
If
do
you
not.
guys should be lying,
No lying.
you stop me, right?
And if you think you need to
You say that's bullshit.
yes, and if you think you need to say something in a nicer way or be politically correct, you don't have to do that.
Or you don't.
You
No.
don't have to do that.
Say what you want to say.
Trust me.
There's a couple words you can't say, just like whisper in his ear, maybe.
Got it.
I don't think I'll say them anyway.
Okay, well, you have 2 questions now. How hard life is, the first part of that question. The second is the proper mindset to have, which is the solution.
Just try to.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Just make
Yeah,
sure.
it's-
Well, I mean, it depends. Everybody's dealt a different set of cards in life. And some people are dealt a very easy life, other people a very difficult life, whether it be your environment, like your family, whether it be your brain, like do you have schizophrenia, or are you a normie, or do you have anxiety, depression, that kind of stuff. And you may not, at your age, you may not even be aware of all of that stuff that's going on with yourself. So life can be very, very difficult at different stages. There's always a challenge in life, and we all die. So you know, it is life.
W
is
mods,
tough
W
if
mods.
You look at it scientifically, mathematically, analytically, with a young man's mind.
Mhm.
As you get older, you realize that there are lessons to be learned in life, and the more I fight, I'll talk about myself. The more I fight those lessons, the harder life becomes. So life can be easy and life can be hard, and the proper mindset to have is this is nothing new, but it's to be humble and grateful. Look at that glass half full, not half empty. If you look at it half empty, you ain't never gonna be happy, ever.
Yeah.
If you look at it half full, you're gonna be happy. If you say, well, okay, I didn't get that, shift at work, or that prize on the lottery, or that job I wanted, or whatever it is, then the proper mindset is to say, okay, it wasn't meant to be, or God has a different plan for me, and go to page 2 and keep moving. Never stop. Like the lesson of baseball is like the Padres when they beat the Dodgers on that second game of the season. And I was at the game with my son Adam. Hope you're listening right now. Woo, that was good. We were losing 5-0 against the Dodgers, guys. I mean, the first inning, 5-0. We're not gonna beat the Dodgers, losing 5-0. Always slowly came back, bottom of the ninth inning, score was 5-3. Machado hits a single home run. Yeah, and the guy in center field hits a home run. What's his name again? Merrill
Yeah.
hits a home run. And then our best pitcher comes in and eliminates the Dodgers at the top of the 10th inning. And then we get a single that drives in the winning home run. And we won.
Let's go. I bet on that game. I took the Padres plus 1.5.
Hey, no betting.
No betting, no betting.
No betting.
I bet in
You
GTA.
gotta be clean on- So, I mean, we were jumping for joy.
Yeah.
We were jumping for joy, jumping for joy. And I met some cool people there, and we kind of bonded in section 105 or whatever it was. Padre Stadium. I would love to have season tickets there. That was beautiful. So never, ever quit. Ever quit.
No quitting.
Remember, you don't decide when you're born, and you don't decide when you die, unless you're terminally ill. Stuff. So never quit is the right mindset,
Never quit.
and be humble and grateful, and have an attitude of gratitude, which I learned from a different phase of life that I had to go through because of pain and suffering.
Attitude of gratitude. I like that.
That's good. Good
Okay.
answer. I agree with everything.
Yeah, me too. I think we
said.
should go over chat for that one because I really would just kind of re-say what our guest just said.
Appreciate the follow, Derek the Dangleberry. Appreciate the follow.
Thank you, Derek.
BG
Dangleberry?
said, "Damn, bro is cooking with grease right now." Fire emojis. BGOSB also said, "Damn, that's some knowledge from experience." KTL Bill said, "Hey man, he got it." You know what I'm saying? You got some folks out there, Albert. You got some folks out there rooting for you.
Fans.
Some fans.
We're just warming up.
Right.
No, we're
Supporters,
just
supporters, not
warm.
fans, supporters.
Yeah, support.
There we go. All right. So I like that kickoff. That was a
Yeah.
great. That's going to cover a lot of bases there with that question.
I mean, you could talk the whole hour just.
No, well, you
Exactly.
could. You could
They
do that.
they also asked
So-
another question. Any advice for the poor people, like black? Well, okay, all right. But yeah, he said any advice for the poor people.
There's gonna
Yeah,
be a lot of-
if you have kids, make sure they get the highest education possible, and always help others in need.
Okay. Well,
If you help others, you will be helped.
yeah. What do you tell people though that are in like rough situations? Like they have like no money, they're just having a hard time getting a job, or they were just working a really rough job, and they feel like they've given it all they've got, but it feels like it's just getting harder.
Every situation is different.
Yeah, I know.
You can't generalize that question. Every situation is different. It depends if they have committed felonies and they can't get a job.
Yeah.
easily. It depends.
So let's run over a scenario then.
Okay.
So a kid starts off with two, let's say, abusive parents, gets thrown into the child care system or like the adoption system. Till he gets 18, he's like gets thrown around, never finds a family, gets released by the adoption system, and is now out on his own with no childhood. Decides he's gonna commit some felons and try to steal money for himself because it's the only way that he's figured out how to survive, right? Goes to jail, figures out this is not the life he wants for himself and wants to do better, but he doesn't know where to start. He has no money, no family, no friends.
Jeez.
He's
I mean, I didn't come from that background, so it's really hard for me to comment. The only thing I would say is knock on every door and ask for help, and somebody will help you. Knock on every door, have a positive attitude, take a shower, get dressed nice,
Look presentable.
never quit. Never quit. Don't use alcohol. Don't use drugs. Stay away from those friends that you used to be friends with. Knock on every door and ask for help, and somebody will help you. You just got to get out there and do it. But do I know what it's like? I mean, first of all, I'm assuming the person doesn't have a mental illness, and I'm assuming that the government or somebody's giving them some financial start to be able to do all this. Because if you don't have a place to live, you're kind of screwed. There are homeless shelters and this and that, but they're kind of messed up too. There are a lot of psychiatric issues going on. So the first thing is to make sure that the person doesn't have schizophrenia or bipolar 1 and get evaluated by a psychiatrist. Usually they have free Medicare, Medi-Cal or Medicaid is called, and then ask for help from the government and ask for help getting a job and just bang on every door. But I would like to turn that question to people who would have more experience with that because that wasn't my path.
But okay, so
Yeah.
I see you're kind of jumping around in little hoops, because like it is. You're right. It is a
I
very
don't know that.
broad
I didn't have that
question.
experience.
It is, but so correct me if I'm wrong, but the pattern I'm kind of seeing with these answers is that the main lesson is to never quit, to keep
Never.
trying and to keep going. So would you say that's probably where you're trying to get at? A good motto.
Yeah.
Just have the best attitude you can, and don't accept no as an answer. Just keep on rolling.
Keep persisting.
All right, I think we're jumping in.
Sorry, no. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Well, I was gonna say I think we're jumping into advice from Albert section of the pod. We have a question from Chad. If Joe, do you want to read that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Joe
B-
has advice.
BGOSB asked for any advice for breaking bad habits.
Oh, like what kind of bad habit?
I think he's referring to his
Any-
bad
any-
habit about his challenge.
We talked about this earlier. It was a
But really anything
Yeah.
you just have a problem, stop doing. Like it could be gambling.
The thing that young men won't do is ask for help. There's too much ego. There's too much pride. You got to get humble, and sometimes the only way to get humble is to experience a painful episode where you get punished. So if you're having problems with that, I mean, I would see a psychologist and a psychiatrist and get evaluated. I would check a regular medical doctor, make sure your hormonal levels aren't too high. And also, what young men and women have a hard time doing is knowing they look at life objectively. I ain't got no income and I ain't got no nothing. My testosterone levels through the roof. I want to kill somebody. So they self-medicate with alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever it is, lots of things, food, and so I would ask for professional help. And I mean, I think every young man has some issues with that, and some of it's kind of normal, but I think you should. There are places to call, and I don't know if I should say this on the air, but there's places like 12-step programs like Sex Addicts Anonymous or places like that, which young men won't go to unless they get caught.
Yeah, like no one would ever. And I don't think his problem is that severe. I just think it's like a little problem.
So the answer to that question is, what's the emotion? What are you feeling right before you do that? What's happening? What are you feeling? And young men have a hard time, like myself, finding out what an emotion even is. Most young men don't even know what they're feeling right now. Like, what are you feeling right now?
I have no idea.
What are you feeling right now?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I'm feeling excited and honored to be on this program with my son. I'm just like, I can't be any happier. I'm so excited to be here in Maine visiting my son. So I'm enthralled. Pleased. I'm content. But when people used to ask me, "How are you feeling?" I would say, "Good." Good is not a feeling.
We say that
every time.
probably a billion times a day. Just good,
Right.
good.
You also say something else that's stupid. I say, "How you doing?" And you say, "I'm good." Right?
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm good. Good is not a feeling. So but I always did that as well. So what this young man has to get to is, what the hell are you feeling right before that happens? Right before it happens, write it down. If you're not going to go get professional help, write it down what you're feeling right before that happens. And guess what?
Wow.
When you find the feeling, you're not going to do it. You won't need it because it's been relieved. It's been released.
Why? Just through knowing what you're feeling?
Just by knowing what you're feeling. That's it. And that's the secret to relationship with women too, is knowing what they're feeling. But young men, Jesus, God, Lord, help us. Why are you doing this to us?
Wait, I think this generation of young men
Yeah.
has gotten slightly better.
Yes, every generation should get better. That's my purpose of my existence, is to help my son get better.
But mostly because not just just from like learning from watching other people, I think, because we get to see more things on our phones or YouTube, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
you even got that show Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I've never watched it, but yeah. How I
I
Met Your
don't
Mother
know.
is a phenomenal show.
Yeah, I don't know if
Teaches
these.
horrible
I
lessons.
don't know if these are great moral lessons, but the fact is that if you have a question, you could Google it
Yeah.
and figure
Yeah.
out the science behind
You
it, figure
need
out the
professional
morality
help.
behind it.
Don't rely on me to solve your problems. You need professional help.
You're a professional.
I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist, and I too have my own problems. So I'm human right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a doctor right now.
But psychologists, and they all have problems still.
That's why they become psychologists,
But so they become a psychologist and their problems go away?
by helping you with your problem and hearing your emotion. Sometimes I can identify with one, and what they're doing is they're sucking your emotional blood out of you, and it makes them feel better about themselves.
Oh, shit.
And it
Yeah,
reminds
that's
them
a little bit of
how bad life is when they were living life like I did when I was 17 years old, emotionally. And they realized they better keep doing this shit and dealing with their emotions, otherwise they ain't never gonna get better.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge every day, because you got something now. Tomorrow you're gonna wake up in the morning, you're gonna forget everything we just talked about.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to start all over again.
It's hard. It feels like nowadays we just don't have any time to even think about emotions.
You do.
I mean, yeah, we probably do, but we just don't.
the fact of
It
the
just feels like we don't.
there's too much to worry about.
It feels like there's a lot to.
The question was, how hard can life be? And my answer to that, I know we've been kind of sticking with one person right now because it's our guest. We got amazing
Start it.
answers. But my answer to how hard life can be is it could get really hard, and that is a lot of the time.
Yeah, like
So
not even just like a hard, like you just
That's
get busy. Like there'll be a problem and then a problem and then a problem and then a problem. You're just stacking problems.
yeah, the never quit.
Yeah.
The never quit feels like get
Never. It
tested.
really feels like never quit because
Like-
you have to never quit.
you have to never quit.
You start over every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I need to look at it more in the way that you're thinking. I feel like that mindset that you've been talking about would help me a lot.
Yeah.
I think just help me a lot.
Now, if you drink too much or smoke too much or whatever, masturbate too much, it's going to be hard to find emotions. You're gonna, because that's how I used to run away from.
Just ignore it
You
by
numb yourself.
doing other stuff. Yeah.
So you want to stay away from the vices while trying to figure yourself out.
You have to stay sober to be able to even find. You're not going to find an emotion
If you're
drinking.
drinking,
It's not gonna
yeah.
happen. It's not going to happen. And to be emotionally present, you also have to do one more thing, which is impossible to convince you guys to do, because I didn't do it at your age, and I thought it was crazy. I thought the person saying this to me was nuts at the time, but it's to be spiritually fit.
When you say spiritually fit, you mean like relationship with God?
Any God you want,
Just have something.
something that's stronger than you.
Something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what, like humble yourself in humility?
Humility and gratitude.
You know what? I've kind of been trying to get closer to God, and I feel like it's been helping me in a way. But then I found out this one thing that you're not supposed to be like have any pride, right? So it means like I do something and I want to be proud of myself, but like I feel like I can't be proud of myself because it wasn't me who did it.
Because it gives you the confidence to be able to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
So a little bit's okay, and as you get older, the pride will go lower.
I know. I just feel because from what I've been
You
like
know-
researching and reading when I'm getting closer to God, it says that like you can't be prideful. Like it's all like all this is like
That's a goal. It's not. You don't have to be 100%. You have to just try.
yeah.
To be humble and grateful. That'll keep you out of the pride business.
Mhm.
You know.
I think. Well, so earlier we had a discussion earlier at the dinner table, and you mentioned something that that you thought that everybody's souls are like part of God, right? And that,
Well, yeah. I mean, that's my personal view. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not.
but I think it intertwines with what Matt just
That's
said.
not in doctrine.
Wait, what?
I'm assuming because you're saying you're not supposed to be prideful because it's God.
Because God's the reason
God's
that
the
you're doing it. He
reason.
kept you healthy through this. He kept you this through this. He gave you those blessings.
So you have to thank God every time instead
Thank
of
God.
thanking
Instead of-
yourself.
Yeah, but I want to like make it so it's like I still like, hey, dude, I still did this.
It could be
You know,
joyful.
the effort. You know.
Be joyful that you made the right decision. A little bit of healthy pride is okay.
Yeah, I think I could be joyful, but it's like I don't have that good feeling in my heart. Like, wow, I did something hard. Like I don't have that anymore. Ever since I like learned that.
Well, it's nice to hear that you're making progress.
You also 100%.
Hmm?
You also 100% these things.
Yes, I
So
do
that's
100%.
probably why.
Yeah.
That you feel that way. I think let's get into that question for everybody else. Joe, you got any mindset to talk about um on how hard life can be and what you believe is a good way to get out of that?
Well, I don't think I can give good advice on that, bro, because I don't think I've handled the things the worser things in my life well. I think there's things that I could have done better during those times. What I've learned though through it is to not run away from your feelings and emotions, because that will lead you down a spiraling staircase, and you're just gonna keep on going down.
Yeah. Sounds. Yeah, I didn't even realize like doing stuff like that makes you run from your emotions. Like I didn't realize it makes it just go away, so you don't have to deal with it.
Right. So there is a solution to that as well. And that's impossible to do. I work on it every day, staying present in the moment, not regretting the past and not worrying about the future. And if you worry about the past or you regret the past or worry about the future, you can't enjoy the present moment and you're not going to make a wholehearted, healthy decision. You're going to make a decision out of fear of the future or depression of the past.
Yeah.
And people like to say, "Oh, poor me, man, poor me," self pity bullshit, and then say, "Hey, yeah, I need a joint, man. That'll help me out."
Yeah.
Poor me, woe is me, and that bullshit. That's all just bullshit. It's just self pity bullshit, and I was an expert at that. I rationalized everything. It was always somebody else's fault. My poor ex-wife, man, she went through hell with me. I was immature. I thought I was a doctor, so I could do whatever I want. I was so wrong, man. It takes decades and decades to learn that how to be present in the moment. Like right now, you're present in the moment because you're on TV or whatever you call this thing.
Right, TV.
If you're present in the moment, you're not going to be nervous. Not going to be anxious. I have no worry in the world right now. I've been practicing for 63
Yeah.
years, man. So you guys are like in kindergarten right now, or first
We
grade.
we are in like kindergarten for this. Like, aren't you thinking about tomorrow already?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
You
next
can't-
week
you
already.
can't do it. Otherwise, your whole life will just 20 years will fly by. You say, "Where did the time
Yeah,
go?"
I know. We gotta be more present in the moment, but it's also hard because because
that's what I said.
we also want to be great at the same time. So we want to make sure we're working as hard as we can. So we're thinking of the reason we're thinking of all these things. Like, okay, so I can plan this out, do this, do this, do that, work harder there, do this, do that.
Do it for the right reason. What's the reason you're doing it for?
Why do I want to be great? Because I feel like it's my duty to
Duty to who?
my family, my loved ones, God.
So you're doing it to help other people.
Yes.
Okay,
So I guess it is for the right reason.
that is the right reason. But stay focused.
I gotta be. Yeah, I am doing it to help other people, but like I feel like I would need that in my heart too. My heart needs it. My heart can't just be like I can't just be average.
And why is that?
I don't know. I've always been that way. Jaden could probably answer that better for me, better than I can even answer that for me.
You can be your own person. Answer it for yourself.
Do you want my answer?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Just a guess.
Well, my hypotheses, self observations. Tandem off. Or let's go through chat before I answer this.
Yeah, Joe, hit some chats.
All right, so BGOSB said that's what's most challenging for me is after all I have of my shortcomings, I feel like I've not only let myself down, but God. Then he said to tandem off that also I know God is the same reason I can get up from my low moments because I know what he does for me.
Yeah. I think what we all do a good job of is at least when we have the low moments, we bounce back. Like we either bounce back or we keep going. Like that's never really our. I think all of us have that in us to
Yeah.
bounce back
Not
hard
quit.
and not quit. But
I like to hear that BGOSB.
yeah, that is some good stuff, BG. Joe hit the other one, or is that it?
Because if that's your biggest challenge, that like it's not just you, it's other people. That's a good, it's a good attribute to have. I know it's an issue, and you gotta. Um, no, honestly, it's not an issue. You're thinking about other people besides yourself.
What did he say?
So that's what the most challenging for me is. After I have my shortcomings, I feel like I've not only let myself down, but God. Tandem off that, also, I know God is the same reason I can get back up from my low points moments because I know what He does for me.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's a great attribute to have. I mean, because you're not just thinking about yourself. You know that I mean, at the end of the day, yes, you want to make yourself better, but who are you making yourself better for? Like the question Albert had for Max on why he wants to be great.
Yeah. I feel like it's for everyone. It's for my loved ones. It's for myself. It's for God. It's like I just don't want to. I want to be the best possible Max that was put on this earth.
You want to live to your potential.
Yeah, live to my potential.
Right. And you have a special. Everybody has a special reason to be here, and you are looking for yours.
Yes.
You know, they say there's a saying that God wants us to suffer and be in pain so we can get closer to God. If I won the lottery, I would not be thinking about God the next day. I doubt I would give 90% to charity like I might say I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say, oh, I got it made. I'm powerful. The funny thing about life is every time I ask God to help me for myself, which includes my family, you know, myself is my family. It's a little bit selfish. I only want to help my family because my family probably doesn't need help. To be honest, maybe a little bit of help. But if I ask God to help me for myself, it doesn't work. If I ask God to help me so I can help you or the guy that's knocking on the door, because I see him knocking on the door because he got his ass out of bed so I can see him, that's the guy I'm going to help. And God will help me if I promise to help you.
Whoa.
If I want it for me, he ain't going to do shit. And I have proof of that.
I actually low key that might be something because I remember like every time I pray, I just thought of all the times and it's worked immediately. It was like always like because I needed to do something for someone else.
Yeah, I mean,
Like holy crap, whoa. Like I was fixing something for someone and it was just not working. I was getting so frustrated. We tried, like it was literally over. I literally prayed to God. Last screw turned, it worked. I was trying for so long. It was insane. It was insane. I've had a bunch of little things like that happen.
BGOSB said I felt that in my chest. Albert preaching to the soul. Okay, so I mean, I think we've covered a lot of ground on
Yeah,
this.
let's move on.
I think we should move on to the next topic.
What time are we in? Oh, how do you? I can't check. All right, whatever. Just move on to the next topic.
Yeah. I thought it was here.
Yeah, whatever. Moving to the
All right,
beach.
Joe, you ready?
Yep. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So, it's actually great that we have Albert on to today's podcast because we were planning on doing this question for a while, and we would have done it with or without you on the podcast. But now that you're here, it matches perfectly for this question. So the question topic of number 2 is what is really the difference in dating between ages? How does it differ from dating when you're older, when you're our age, 23, when you're younger in high school? Really, the different ages throughout life. There's tons of people that have to go through different dating steps. I think it would probably be best to start with the younger aspect of dating, so you can hear out what we go through in our new day and age, because every era of dating is different, and then you can kind of put that together. So Max, do you want to start?
Wait. I think we should have him start so he gives us what he thinks. All of this from since he was 23, we can compare our 23 with his 23, and then we can see how he is today versus us today.
See where you're getting.
You know what I mean? So I can tell him like, hey, this is how it is today, and how much has changed after I hear what you know.
Okay, so disagree. Okay,
And tell him how it's impossible to do. Yeah, all right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I see the vision. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have a sister. And I just want to compliment my 3 son-in-laws and my son-in-law that to be that these guys are normal. They're normal males and they're very healthy males and they're very good husbands. All 4 of them want to be. And I wish I was as good as them. When I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, how did my daughters find such good men? You know, maybe they should talk about it. But and I had an Israeli father from the Middle East. He was terrible advice about women. Terrible, 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 terrible. The wrong advice, but he's my father. And I thought I had to listen to my father. And that was mistake number 1. I had a toxic father who didn't know how to have a healthy relationship with a woman. So when I was 23 years old, I didn't give a shit what a woman thought. I was interested in only one thing, and I thought that was love. I was in lust. I wasn't in love, and I didn't know the difference. So that was way back then. And guys would always just be, did you score? Did you get laid? And all that kind of stuff. And that's all it was about. My talk about women was a Playboy magazine and a condom. Say, here, son, this is what women are for.
Damn.
Yeah, well, he was, it was not good. It was not good. And so, I that's what I'm going to say. I was like in first grade at 23 years old, emotionally.
Yeah.
And I was not dating girls for the right reason. I didn't care what they said. I listened to them all for only one reason, and I was a lousy, lousy boyfriend. The worst. Because I pretended that I cared for only one reason. And that's sin, man. I broke a lot of hearts and I was wrong. And I regret what I did. And I've changed, but it took 40 more years, for me to change.
Yeah.
40 more years because I got stuck in that mold and didn't pay attention and we didn't talk about emotions. Guys talk about emotions, they would beat you up.
Yeah.
If you talked about emotions in my generation. So I'm really grateful I live in California because there are a lot more emotionally sensitive and present guys, like the 4 men that are involved with the 4 daughters. If they were like me, I'd beat the shit out of them if I could. I would have a stern talk with them and tell them why they shouldn't be like I was.
Yeah.
But it seems like you just didn't know.
I didn't know, and I didn't have the emotional capacity to figure it out. Some people can. Some guys can. Some guys, my 2 brothers that were younger than me, figured it out. But I was more loyal to my father than I was to my wife.
Mm.
And that was really bad. So I shudder inside right now when I hear this question because, that's my biggest sin.
Yeah.
It's not treating girls right. And I'm so sorry that I did that. I wish I had another start,
Well, it's good that you recognize it.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you just didn't care and proceeded to break more.
Well, that happened too. But
Well, and not intentional. Like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Sick to the 23-year-old age. But,
So would you say that that was common
yes.
for
Yeah.
Really?
your era?
No, it was 50-50. There were guys that, see, my mother never said nothing. She wouldn't interrupt because I didn't have any sisters to say, hey, tell me the truth. Like Jayden's got sisters that tell him the truth. And that helps him so much in his relationship with women. So having a sister is a big plus, especially if you talk to her about these things. So if you have a sister, talk to her about what a woman wants. I now know what a woman wants, but I didn't know then.
That's
It's deep.
yeah, that's deep.
It's very sad. It's tragic.
Well, so then what was dating like for when you would this was your mentality when going into dating, right? You've established
At 23
that
years old, you
at
mean?
23 years old, yeah.
I would just go to the college parties, wait for the drunk girls to approach me, and then, they would do whatever they wanted usually, or whatever I wanted, and they wouldn't even know what happened half the time.
Jeez.
Yeah, nothing really happened because I was too young, and I was 17 years old when I went to college,
Oh.
and so I was too young to even do anything, So I kind of didn't do that, but I sinned, man. sin means I hurt somebody. I
Mhm.
hurt somebody unknowingly and didn't know how to care and didn't even know what an emotion was. Then I think I cried the first time my girlfriend broke up with me, which she should have done immediately after talking to me, not even gone out with me. But I cried when that happened, not because I cared about her, but because it was painful. My ego was hurt.
Whew.
That's why I cried. So
Mm.
it was as bad news bears at that age, unless you get trained by a woman. Stick with
You think
a
a woman needs to train you?
I think you need to have guidance from a woman, not from a man from my generation, unless he's emotionally mature and has had only one wife his entire life and has been completely faithful to her. Then you can rely on what he has to say. But otherwise, stick with the women that are normal, and have had only one relationship or whatever.
Mhm.
And sisters are probably the best route. But you got to be honest with them. Your mom will tell you. Listen to your mama.
No, my mom did tell me. I did. I think she was probably
I
my
will let you
biggest.
speak now.
I think she was probably my biggest influence with girls. 100%. I don't think I treat girls bad, right, guys?
No.
I have a girlfriend. I think she's treated properly.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
The question is the
Respect.
difference in age on how relationships work. So I guess we were kind of going over between Albert's age,
In my
when he was
era.
our age, and then how it goes now between our relationships.
Yeah. Well, like my current relationship.
Your current relationship, your past relationships, all the experience that you've had.
Yeah, I think you need to have a little bit of experience with women, whether you get it from your sisters or just, well, I don't know. I think you just have to be out there, like literally in the field, just meeting them, talking to them, having experience, failing, learning from your experiences to turn you into that, make you more emotionally, what's the word, emotionally
Mature.
mature, yeah.
Yeah.
To be able to have like a long-term girlfriend.
Yeah. You can't be in a relationship if you're
That's-
not ready to like respect that girl.
Yeah, and what I also
And
say,
to care about what she has to say.
yeah, because
Not to prove the point of what you want to say.
yeah. And I say emotional maturity because if your only goal the whole time was to just like, do whatever with her, like, just one night thing, and you guys like end up dating or something, it started from that. It started the wrong way. And things that start the wrong way, they're probably going to end the wrong way as well.
Never start or never. It's never a good thing to start a relationship with a lie or a.
Or with a lie or just to
Get
see.
closer so I can see.
Yeah, I can barely see it too.
So, BGOSB Joe, do you want to read the last couple chats? It was just the last
Okay,
two.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
So he said, I felt it in my chest. Albert preaching to the soul. I'm going to need to hear this for real. Joe's mentality. And then he also said, so to say, a product of the environment he grew up in, honestly, with how the father portrayed women.
Yeah.
And he was a good father in every other way. He was a great father. He loved me the best that he could, the best that he knew how.
Yeah. Well, I just want to point out, BGOSB said Joe's mentality when talking about how
Yeah.
Albert was saying how he used to treat relationships and women. Joe, you got anything to say about that?
I beg to differ.
You beg to differ.
I don't think that's.
So I guess we can. Yeah, let's go into that. What's your mentality?
I think women are beautiful human beings that need to be loved. I think they deserve to see the good sides of men, not the bad sides.
And you show it to them, Joe?
Hey, Joe, that got to
All
be
the
the most
time.
beautiful thing. Joe, that must be the most beautiful thing you have ever said on
Yep.
this podcast.
I love women. Women are
But-
beautiful creatures.
Joe, now give us another answer.
Joe
Give you-
lying on the NGL.
What do you mean? Give you another answer? That's my true, honest opinion.
Well, how were you raised with your mom and dad?
Well, my father passed away
Joe,
when I was younger. Huh?
Say it again.
Yeah, I said my
you
father
say?
passed away when I was younger, so I didn't really have like I mean, for a good amount of time I did have my dad in my life, but he passed away when I was like 15, so I didn't get much of like a father figure when I was, growing up as a teenager, but he was in my life. He instilled like the early stuff in me.
How do you treat your mother?
Oh, they were divorced. I mean, he treated her well though. I mean, it wasn't no like hatred or anything like that, but nah, yeah, he didn't disrespect her or anything like that.
Well, that's very mature of you, man. I think you'd be a great boyfriend.
Yeah,
Thank
Joe,
you.
I think
If
you'd be a
if
good
I was-
boyfriend
If I
too.
was a girl, I would date you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Joe,
it. I love women.
so
women. Women.
Wow. Joe, that's like the first time you called a woman on the podcast. Are you
Why
maturing,
are you
Joe?
lying in front of our guest? See, now
Why?
you're tainting my image in front of our guest here. Now you're trying to.
This is the Not the Lie podcast. You got to be truthful, Joe. You got to be
No,
truthful.
I'm being truthful. I love women. There's a difference between women and those other things.
I love. What do you mean?
There
by
it
love?
is. See, we just cracked him open. Do you hear what he just said? Say that again, Joe.
What do you mean by love?
What do
Say
I
what you
mean
just
by
said again.
love?
Yeah.
I love like I love their beauty. I love their intellect. I love the way they walk. I love the way they talk. I love their spirituality. I love that women are very spiritual. They're spiritual beings.
They are more.
Stop the cap.
Wow. So what? Is it hard to believe that I admire women?
No, it's not. It's not. It's just that, Joe, we've gone over the fact that you don't really want a relationship, right?
You're missing what
God.
Joe's words are. He's saying what he wants to say. He's not actually saying what he
What do you mean?
He says, say it again, Joe. What do you say about women?
Women
About
are
girls.
beautiful.
About girls.
No. Women. Women are beautiful.
Yeah,
human
there it is. You
beings.
hear that? How he corrected me. I said girls. He said women. So, Joe, what do you think of girls? 'Cause
Girls
I know
are
what he's trying to
girls
say.
are good, but there's different types of girls. See that there's
So, would you describe what are the different types of girls? There.
So what do you mean? So you want me to get descriptive?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
This is a
Okay,
podcast.
so
not the live podcast.
There's women. Women are the girls that were raised the right way. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean they had to have a father in their life, but they were instilled the right qualities by their family or figures in their household. Those are women. Then there are how should I say it?
Oranges.
Oranges. Yes, there are oranges. There are oranges, and oranges might have been taught the right way, but they're hard headed. They're very hard headed. Don't listen. You can't you can't take them anywhere. They're always acting out. It's always gonna be something with an orange. There's always something going on with an orange. Just letting you know that.
So are you judgmental about women?
No, not judgmental, but I mean, if an orange is doing orange things, I'm gonna call it an orange.
Can you describe what that is for Albert, who may not know
So
what that means when you just say orange is orange?
an orange is a girl that you wouldn't take back to your parents. Let's just say that. And that's not me
That's
being
good way to put it.
judgmental. That's me having standards.
Tomato.
Huh?
What's a tomato?
What's a
There's
tomato?
clementine, which
No,
is
there's
like
no
girls
tomatoes.
would take back.
There's clementines. Clementines are women. Women are clementines.
So I think what Joe's trying to say is that, well, first of all, he said he loves women, all that. The question was, how are your relationships? How do you treat relationships? So
Okay.
you love women. That's what you do. You're saying, or that's how you feel.
That's how I feel. You're saying how I treat women. Like you're saying, how are my relationships with
How do
women?
you meet girls? What brings you into a relationship? What do you look for in these girls or women?
As of right now, I'm not looking for anything but company. That's all I'm looking for as of right now. I feel.
What do you mean by company, Joe?
Company means, we're
Sure.
grown. We're grown. We're
Yeah.
all grown ups here. We're all grown ups here. We know what company means.
Okay. All right. That's
So you're looking for just
Attention.
a one night
Who said one night?
every once in a while thing. Couple night, I don't know, man. You know what I mean.
I'm just saying. I'm looking for a good time. That's all.
There's a show about that. It's called Good Times.
Good times, man.
all right. Okay. So is Jayden cuffed? I do have a beautiful, amazing girlfriend. If that's what you're asking, BG. A lot of things have changed since we've been consistent with the NGL pod. I am definitely cuffed.
Cuffed is right.
All right, so I think we've gone over how everybody as a 23-year-old would be treating women. I feel like you, Albert, you went over what as a 23-year-old back in the day, with how you were taught to treat a woman, what you looked for in women, and where you met them. What about now that you're a single man?
Oh, now it's all a whole different story, man. I love talking to women. Foreplay for women is talking. When I say talking to them, I mean listening to what they got to say and not telling them what to do and not giving them your opinion unless they ask for it. But I still do give my opinion because I'm a selfish male. I have some pride. I do end up saying my opinion, or I say what I don't say my opinion about what they should do. I say what my experience was for me. So if I talk about me or how I feel, nobody can argue. If I say, I feel jealous when you talk to that other guy all the time, she can't convince me that I shouldn't feel jealous. She could say, you got nothing to feel jealous about. Love you very much. And I was just talking to him because he's my manager and I got to talk to him every once in a while or whatever it is. So nobody can argue with a feeling. So it's very important to learn the love languages. There's those five love languages. If you didn't read the book, you should read the book and find out what love language the girl has. You got to figure it out. And it may not be one of those five. It could be a combination. It could be something different. And it takes a lot of work for a man to listen to a woman and get nothing in return. Absolutely nothing. In fact, now, if the woman wants to, what did he say it was again? Spend the weekend.
Have a good time.
Have a good time. I don't let them.
Mm.
I say, no, we don't know each other well enough. We're going to have a good time later. We're going to have a great time, not a good time, a great time, okay? We're going to have the best time ever. And we're going to feel like the two of us are one. But it takes time. So I slow it down now.
How long?
Months before I would, have a good time.
Why is that? Like, what do you
Because
think that you gain?
it takes time to know somebody. And my life's complicated now. I got 9 kids. I got 5 grandkids. So I'm not available like you guys are to go jump over and have lunch with them. I got to make plans in advance. So it takes a much more. I have such a full, beautiful life because I didn't quit when I wanted to quit permanently. I did not quit. And I asked God to help me, whatever that means, so that I can help somebody else. So now I'm with women and I let them talk. I let them lead the way. And I say no. And I'm honest with them about how I feel. And I mean, I slow them down now.
Mm.
I mean, I am older. My testosterone level is lower than yours are, but there's a way to fix those problems. And I'm a doctor, so I know all the secrets. So be very, very active and have a really, really good time. But it's a much better time. It's like the two of us are one with God kind of experience. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't have that right now. I broke up with my girl a year ago, and I haven't had a girlfriend since. I haven't been with any girl for a year because I want to feel that pain and I want to grow and learn from whatever mistake it was last time. And the only way to change, unfortunately, for a man like me, is through pain. And
it's for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Pain teaches pain, suffering.
There's an expression that I did not make up, and I just read it and memorized it.
Oh, jeez.
And I teach it to other men. What are they saying?
TRT. to boost my testosterone? Question mark. Dr. Albert.
Oh, I can fix that wagon in a minute. But
Right with
Oh,
prescription.
Mr. Albert, Mr. Albert,
Go see a urologist, man. They're
Mr.
experts at that
Mr.
kind of
Albert,
stuff.
do you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right. Do you like submissive women?
I'll take anyone my age. But yeah, I used to like submissive women. Now I can be this. I can be either. I can play either role. I can play any role. But
I think he means for like a partner.
Yeah, like a long-term partner.
I just want somebody to share the rest of my life with. I'm not thinking about sex at all. That comes naturally.
I think he meant like
Like they could be submissive in not a sexual way, like just
like someone who talks
Yeah.
back a
No, I
lot.
want an equal partner. I want an equal intelligent and
well, they could still be equal. Submissive is just like
I used to like submissive women, but I did not marry one, and I don't like submissive women. No, I don't need to be the boss all the time. But if she is submissive, I will take over. I'll make the reservation. I'll get the rental car. I'll book the flight. But no, I don't like submissive women. But I think I was trying to say something important there. Oh, there's a saying that pain is the touchstone for spiritual progress. And without pain, people don't change.
why do you think that is?
Because of my ego and stubbornness and fear.
I have an answer for that one.
I think
I have an
fear.
answer too. You go
Go
first.
ahead, guys. You
You
take
go
over.
first.
And this
Young
is
boys,
actually
go.
this is actually
Teach
from,
the old man something.
well, unfortunately, I'm not going to teach you anything new because this was advice from you.
Oh.
Maybe I forgot I'm getting old.
But it was the reason why it needs to be pain sometimes is because 99% of the time, in order for somebody to change, it must be easier for them to change than it is to stop what they have an issue with. So most of the time, continuing to do that issue is easier than it is to change. Changing is the hard part. Drinking too much, smoking too much, yanking the Johnson. It's easy to do those things. And the second that those things become difficult, the second that those things become so painful to you that changing is actually easier than living with that pain, that's the only time that someone will change.
That's a good ass answer.
And that
But
was
it's also that's the breaking point. But that's also could be the breaking point.
exactly.
Like, what if they get so far deep down that they can't even change anymore? Like they can, but it's just like so much harder to change.
I know people like that.
Some people don't change, and some people die because they don't change.
Yeah.
They really do. They go to prison, they go to psychiatric institutions, but they die. And the easier way is to ask for help. People don't ask for help. Ask for help from anybody older and wiser. Your father, or your uncle, or a guy like me.
It's hard to ask for help though.
It is.
Like, that's really hard. Like you have to be really, really down
But my dad
to get to ask for
My
help.
dad never asked for help. He was too prideful. He said, "I'll never show that you're weak." It's just the opposite. It's strength to show that you're weak. You're strong if you say that you're weak. It's the world of opposites.
Like I don't think it's strong to say that you're weak. I think it's strong to say, "Hey, I have this problem. I do need help with this problem."
Right. Well,
All right. Can I just be a man and just, since we're talking about this problem, and can I confess and ask for help here?
Absolutely, Joe.
All right. So in the past, 3-4 months, I've gotten a bad habit of doing something while having intercourse. I I don't know how to say this, but I think I have a problem with putting my thumb in
Joe.
You know what? No judgment.
No,
As long as you're being serious, Joe.
Joe. That's something that's not. I don't think that's.
What does he say?
That's
As long
why
as you're being
that's why I
serious,
said
Joe.
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to
Well,
say
Joe,
it.
I don't think that's the problem, man.
What does he say?
Yeah.
Can you whisper it to me?
It's called bus driver. something like that.
I don't know. He's having a problem putting his thumb in a dirt holes during sex.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want, man. As
Yeah,
long as it says it's okay.
Yeah, dude. As
Oh
long
no,
as
yeah,
it's
she
okay,
says it's fine, but I feel like
What's wrong?
I
You
just
feel guilty?
I feel I feel guilty. I don't know. I feel like it's wrong because I was
You're a good
asked to
man.
do it, and I don't know.
Oh, I see. It feels very wrong to you, and you've been continuing to do it.
Yeah.
Well, just say that it makes you feel uncomfortable, and you don't think you
Do
should
you know
do it
why it
anymore.
makes you feel uncomfortable?
Why?
Hey, we're talking biology here, man. There's no shame here.
Oh no,
there's
you're
shame.
asking me. You're asking me.
I know why I feel uncomfortable too. I think.
I mean,
5 holes, criminals.
I feel like it
There's
makes
7
me feel
people.
uncomfortable because
Oh yeah. 400.
I never, I don't play around like that. You know what I'm saying? And that just
How does it make you? Okay, what's the feeling, man? Here's a good example. Let's do it. What's your feeling when that happens? What are you feeling?
I'm feeling like a ookie. Like, why is my thumb like,
Can't be real, bro. Joe.
Are you feeling gross?
Yeah, gross, really gross.
Okay, did you tell her how you feel?
No,
We gotta be a man and tell her how you feel.
I know, but it's tough. Like I feel like if I tell her how I feel, she's gonna judge me.
Let her judge you. What she thinks of you is none of your fucking business, man.
Hey, I just want to say something. Someone just said that this is the greatest pod ever.
You can wear a condom on your thumb if you want, man.
I mean, but then
Joe, you hear that?
you know why I really feel guilty though?
Why?
Because I don't think I'm watching my hand after I do that. I'm probably like doing things with my thumb. I did that, and then now I got butt residue all over my thumb. I could have scratched my eye. I was sick like 2 weeks ago. I probably
Buy
was
one
sick
of them
because
Asian condoms and
Asian condoms. Oh, you just put me on. What is
I
it?
guess I'm immature.
I mean, that's a good problem to have, man. You lucky.
No, but what are Asian condoms? I might need to experience.
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if that was a thing or not.
Joe, just say you feel uncomfortable, and that's that.
I didn't mean that.
That's that.
I think
Maybe wear gloves.
Gloves? That don't seem. I feel like I'm scamming her if I'm doing that. I gotta give her the full experience.
Hear about it. No. You got to communicate your feelings. Just talk about this. You can't argue about feelings. You got some feelings
I'm not
here.
worried
You gotta
about her
tell about that.
arguing with me. I'm just worried about as a man. I don't know. I feel like I'm like you said. I'm prideful. I'm young. We're young, so we're prideful. I care about I care about the image I put out to her. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she's gonna look at me
How many
differently.
men would love to have your problem?
They would like to have a finger and butthole problem.
Joe.
All right, guys, let's move on.
We need to move on
Let's move on.
immediately.
No. This is a very important subject.
Yeah, we're having dialogue here, Max. Why are you trying to stop the dialogue?
Talk to her
Joe,
about how you feel.
not washing your
the
hands,
action. Not the action. Talk to her about your feelings. That it feels gross. You feel dirty. You feel like you're, doing something that's not right, and it might cause hemorrhoids or some shit like that. That tell her how you feel.
But
If
she
can't argue
enjoys
with
it
your
so
feelings.
much when I do it. She's like more. I mean, well, I can't say that.
I would joke and say, hey, if you need help, let me know. But I can't do that.
Joe, honestly, the biggest issue is that you did not wash your hands after. That's the biggest.
That's what
issue.
everybody's worried about.
I know.
Guys,
mean,
this is a very
be
different
honest.
episode
Why
of
are we?
NPL Pod
Whoa, guys, are we a bunch of guys that haven't had intercourse here? Like, are we washing our hands?
No, Joe,
we were
listen,
washing our
Joe,
hands during
let's
sex.
let's listen, Joe. You got your answers. Let's move on. All right. Let's go into the next topic of the day. Okay.
He made
Yep.
the show.
He made a show, Albert.
He made the show.
He made a damn show.
Joe is our
He's the comedy.
Spice.
He's
He's
Yeah.
the spice.
the
Exactly.
spice if you can't tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's that behind him? Oh, that's the chair.
Yep, W chair.
Next topic.
Yeah. So let's go over. And
That was a good one. I need a break. I need some. Jesus.
Hey, chat just said, remind me to never dap up Joe.
Yeah, seriously.
I got triggered
Hey,
on
listen,
that one.
man.
Joe.
That's how you feel.
Joe, No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
Go
instigate.
ahead,
Don't
man.
shame him.
This is the NGL pod,
No,
man.
no, no shame whatsoever. No shame whatsoever.
Bullshit.
Yeah, this is you should not feel. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get deeper into this because we should cut the conversation off. Go to a new one.
Yeah,
It does sound like we're Howard Stern show right now, but
I feel like this is not my podcast today.
Yeah, let's go into a new topic. All right, guys. Okay, so topic number 3. Chat. You guys answer in the chat this question as well. We'll go throughout the questions, and we'll all give answers to the question in the chat. Okay, we're gonna go over exactly around a year from now, and then to today, and we're gonna compare the two. The question is, how has this last year been? Do you guys see any changes, and are you happy with those changes from a year from now till today? As usual, we're gonna start with the special guest of honor.
I learned to how to be happy living alone, completely alone, with nobody to talk to except my dogs, and just being alone. And I'm a guy that was surrounded by 9 kids and all that stuff, and I'm happier being alone than I used to be.
Speak up a little bit.
I've learned how to be happy being alone, and just learning how to love myself a little bit, which used to feel selfish for me. And I stopped smoking cigars, man. That's a big deal. I was smoking for 7 years to suppress my loneliness. Hang out with the guys at the cigar lounge, and everybody would tell tall tales and be full of shit. If the women were listening, man, they'd all be making fun of us. But it was fun. Watch the games with the guys, yell and scream with the guys, and occasionally there'd be a girl smoking a cigar too, and she would act like a guy, and it was a lot of fun. But it's unhealthy for me. I know it's not good for me, so I stopped smoking, and I'm just getting rid of all, every vice there is. And that's good advice.
That's good advice.
Get rid of the vice.
So would you say that from a year ago to now, that you're happier with how you've been spending this year?
I'm more content. I wish I had a relationship of love and honesty and 2 oranges, not just 1 orange.
2 oranges. No clementine.
I mean a clementine. I meant a clementine. Whoops, that was a Freudian
You
slip.
You like the oranges? I like oranges too.
No, I meant the clementine. I want a clementine. And honestly, I don't need to have anything. I'm happy. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But listen, I already had my kids, and I have my family, and I have my career. I mean, I'm at a very different stage of life than you guys. So I want to hear more about you guys, because your changes are much more dramatic than mine are. Because 1 year for you is a larger change in time, percentage wise, to your life. It's 5% of your life, and me, it's 1 year is 2% of my life, or whatever, or 4%. No,
Yeah, something like
1
that.
out of 20 is 5%, right? 1 out of 20 is what? That's 5%. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Probably.
and mine is like less than 2%.
Yeah.
So let's hear about you youngsters, okay?
All right, you.
All right. You got it.
All right. I'm gonna go back to like a year and a month ago when I was single, because there'd be more of a change.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am first off very happy with where I am compared to a year and a month ago. I think I didn't realize until like talking today how far I've really came, because like I only see like what I haven't accomplished yet, like the glass half empty, half full thing. I feel like I've been looking at the empty and looking at what I don't have yet. Like, yes, I don't have millions of dollars yet. I'm not the most jacked ever. I'm not whatever, but I am much stronger than I was last year. I have a much better path than I did last year. I was single, I was alone, and I was kind of sad last year. I have an amazing woman now. Have much happier than I was last year. Not drinking that much. Last night was once in a lifetime, all right? It was once every last night was bro, it was once. But I don't know. I don't want to say I'm proud, because I don't want to say that, but I'm content with where I am, and I should be more grateful for where I am instead of looking at what I don't have.
Never be content.
Never be content. As
You know
Joe
what I
said.
mean? Not like obviously I'm gonna keep going, but I want to take a step back, take a breather for a day.
You need
And
the
I
little.
think he means emotionally.
Yeah, don't worry, that's not gonna stop.
And being the quarterback and all that.
Yeah, and even taking a second to like celebrate your achievements, the goals on the way to the bigger
Like
path.
like I've lifted weight in the gym this year that I never thought I would have. Like if you would have asked me a year and a month ago if I would have ever touched like the weight that I've been doing, I would have said no, or it'd take me 5 to 10 more years, and I accomplished it in a year. And like me and Jayden have a new business that we've been doing that didn't exist a year and a month ago, and we just got to be grateful for that stuff. Don't be content. Keep working on it very hard, but take a step back. Understand that hey, we're on the right path. Let's keep going.
Now, I can
Correct.
say that I'm
Thank you.
that's a big change.
Oh yeah, could you say that you're proud of someone else?
Yes.
You can say that. That works that way.
I guess so, but can you feel good about it?
I can't. Low
Would I-
key.
would
Low key. I don't know if I can.
I could say it differently. I could say that it makes me really happy to see how you've improved over this last year.
You could feel happy that you made him happy,
And I'm happy that that makes you happy.
or you didn't make him happy.
And then we say thank you to God for.
You could be happy that God made him feel happy.
Yeah, and then we're happy. We're thankful to God that He made all of us happy in progress.
The rabbit hole.
Yes. All right, Jayden.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do the same thing as Max and go a year and a month back because that is when I was not in a relationship and more things have changed. I was a year and a month back. I came to this place that we're in right now to make money, work out as much as possible, and to save for my future goals in life, to finish my education, to really just get my life path rolling. So a year and a half ago was gonna be like the real big gap where I take a big step forward. And I came in and I put my head down and I just kept working for those goals, and I started seeing progress throughout the year, just like Max said, and it felt really good. It felt great, and I was extremely proud of myself. I know it doesn't fall along with your,
Hey, bro, careful.
but I personally think that we have free will, and
I do
that
too.
that it is thanks to God, but it's also thanks to my efforts.
Your
Making the
efforts,
right
yeah.
decisions.
Yeah,
We made the efforts. We made the right
God
decisions.
gives us
He gave us the free will.
the free will to do.
I gotta do some more research on this because it is bugging me.
Yeah.
It is really bugging me, man.
I'm very a year from I to sum that part up. I am very happy with myself, but kind of like Joe said, I don't know if I still have a long way to go. I still have not gotten into my career yet. I still have not gotten as big as I want to get, and I have not made as much money as I wanted to make. Now, the thing with those things is that it'll never end. There's always going to be more money that I need to make. There's always going to be a bigger myself that I can get to, and there's always going to be, a next goal in my career. So I don't like the idea of judging this past year off of those things. I'll the day on my deathbed that I'm on my deathbed,
You got a
a
while to go.
long way to go. That's the day that I'll look back and I can say I'm proud, I'm happy with the way I live my life, or I'm not. But until then, I think I'm gonna stick with yesterday was great, and today let's make it better. Let's do better changes today.
we gotta keep doing this, man. We gotta keep that mindset because I feel like when we get off the pod for like a couple weeks or whatever, it slowly like goes away, you know? Like we need this as like the glue. Or not, we don't need it because we should be able to do it by ourselves, but it really helps,
we talk
man.
it into existence over here.
We do. We talk it into existence. We help each other. We hold each other accountable. Like I guarantee you, the only reason we went like 0 for 5 on these challenges is because we weren't there for each other last week.
Yeah,
Like I would have made it.
you would have made it, and you probably would have been strong today.
Yeah, I know. Ellie would have made it. I'm pretty sure he would have.
Ellie could have used this.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more. So don't get too big, guys. Okay, you're gonna end up hurting yourself. And some girls like really big guys, but most of them don't.
No, I don't want to get too big.
Yeah, most of them like lean and you know.
I'm on the cut right now.
Okay, you guys are great looking guys, and Jayden, I'm really happy for you. You have the best girlfriend I've ever seen. And she's really healthy and a good woman on your side. It's like 1+1 = 3. It's like you become better. You know?
Yeah.
And don't be the big shot and start yelling at your girlfriend like I used to do because I was scared of change. Listen to what they have to say. Say, I'll think about it when you want to say no. Say, I'll think about it. You know, be open minded. And you guys have made such progress. You've turned into men. You guys are tangerine. What's it called again? Tangerine?
Clementine.
Clementine.
Tangerine.
So what is it? What is the equivalent for men on that?
Oh, yeah, we gotta
on
do-
that there, Joe.
Joe, we
what's
gotta
the
make a man one.
All right,
Yeah,
so
what's the
apples,
tomato?
hard apples.
Apples, green apples, red apples, crab apples, apples and oranges. Oh shit.
No, let him say it. Joe's got to make it up.
Yeah,
What's a
yeah. So
man?
yeah, hard apples.
Kid and a man.
So I
Apples
would
and
say
Let's go BJOSB. I love to hear that.
What's the
I'd love
kid?
to hear that.
Yeah. What's the kid and what's the adult?
the kid and adult.
What's the
For the
child
apples.
man?
Oh,
and the
okay,
adult
okay. So
man?
the hard apple is the the battle tested, the warrior. You know what I'm saying? The strong willed and mind young man. That's a hard apple. Then the green apple is just your average Joe. And then you got a red apple. Nothing wrong with the red apple, but it's just the red apple.
What's a hard apple?
I like red apples more than green.
He's
Hard apple
just give us
seltzer.
two.
All right, so hard apple and green
Joe,
apple.
give us.
Okay, hard apple and green apple. Okay,
Give it to him. Jesus, Joe.
the hard apple is the mature kid, and the green apple is the mature kid.
See, the
Green
funny
is
thing.
good.
No, the funny thing is, I think Joe meant it the other way around.
I did, but we can go with the way you guys just said it. It rolls off the tongue
No,
better
I
that
think
way.
that's
It
what I'm
already
trying to
rolled
address,
off the
because-
tongue like that. Rolled off the tongue like that, Jayden. It's cool. We can keep
I
it like
think you
that.
should make a banana. I think you should make a banana the young and mature man, and then the apple the mature man.
But
Oh, okay.
or maybe
Gray apple.
banana is for the immature man, and then the
Michael's there?
plantain. The plantain is the extra big banana. That's for the
All right, wait, Joe, you're missing the whole point, bro.
No, but he said
Alright,
we're just trying to make
bananas. We're doing bananas now, so we're doing bananas and plantains. Plantains are huge bananas.
I think we're getting a little off topic here, guys.
Read the
Joe,
chat,
read
Joe,
the chats. Read the
chat.
chats.
All right, so BGOSB said they've been in a year-long relationship. Meanwhile, Joe looking for a good time. You are right, brother. BGOSB said, "Damn, that's money. Hey, next time we do this pod, my bad habits gonna be Thanos snapped. My challenge gonna
Yes,
be
sir.
freaking crushed. Make that bad
Let's go,
one a
BG.
rotted apple." And then Big Mike Shark, what's up, Big Mike Shark? Big Mike Shark said, "I think that guy in the
Welcome
back
back,
is a
Big
gray
Mike Shark.
apple." He called you a gray apple. And then
He's got a good-looking gray apple.
oh yeah, and then he said a good-looking gray apple though. And then BG said, "Bro, what is going on?" And then Big Mike Shirt said, "Y'all all fruits."
Hey, don't forget, guys. Eve ate from the apple.
Eve did eat from the apple, which she wasn't supposed to.
Yep,
It's all about the apple.
Yeah, which
it's
apple
all
was
about the
that?
apple.
They think it wasn't an apple. They think it was a different fruit. I'll try and think of what it was. But they don't
Peach?
think it was really an apple.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, matter of fact, we gotta change that. Men can't be. We're not fruits here. I gotta change. We gotta change that. We're not fruits. We gotta be something else. We gotta be a vegetable.
What are we?
No, we're
What are we?
cucumbers. We're
What are
cucumbers.
we, bricks?
We're cucumbers.
That's a vegetable. Okay.
Yeah, we're vegetables. We're not
What different
fruits.
kind of cucumbers are there?
Well, there's
We
cantaloupe,
swords?
and then there's cucumbers.
Which one's the immature? Which
Yeah.
one's the mature?
I'm lost, Joe.
So cantaloupe is just the the bad one, and then the cucumber is the the stud.
You mean the mature or the
Yeah, the
immature?
mature stud.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We got a while to go there, Joe.
Guys,
Okay.
that one needs some work.
Yeah.
Guys, I believe
Stay focused.
that we are coming to our last topic of the day.
Damn.
And this has been a great pod. So everybody bring out everything you got for this last topic.
Last topic. Let's go all in.
Last topic, we're all in, okay?
No lying, please.
No lying. All right. So a lot of things are bubbling in society. You know, there's a new there's the election coming up. There's we're not doing politics. Don't worry, no politics.
No politics.
But there's election coming up. There's a lot of opinionated rights being changed, and a lot of um, a lot of people. The economy isn't great, so you have to do certain jobs where you might not enjoy them, or might be butting heads with certain people. The question that I just surrounded that ideology around is how do you deal how do you deal with the people that have these different opinions from yourself when they're really strong about their opinion, and you have to be put in a position where you need to fight for that opinion. How do you treat those situations?
And let me add, like, you truly disagree with them, like from the bottom of your heart. But how do you go about that, dealing with them?
Well, I'm not sure what subject you guys are talking
Any
about.
subject, like anything you feel
Give me-
extremely strong on.
Okay,
It-
so it's very
That's-
important to not let to learn from other people and respect the good things they have to say, and not to be offended by the bad things they say, and just to end the conversation and move on. It's not a good idea to argue with people. Try and be respectful as possible, and if you disagree with them, say, I gotta go. And
But
don't,
what if you're trying to get to like a common understanding? Because I think you could get
why
to a
would you
common.
have to come?
I'm not saying that you have to do
Is,
it.
is this work or something? I mean,
Sure, let's say it's at work.
okay.
Let's say you have
And,
like this
and
is
it's something
inevitable.
about the dishes at work, or
You know,
Or
I
is it
think
work,
I think
or
the
is it-
best I think the best situation to explain, because it is something very important, would be um faith. You're speaking to somebody who doesn't believe
That's a
in
good one.
God, and you're having a conversation with them on your beliefs versus his beliefs.
how is this person related to you?
This person is a friend.
It's just. Well,
So, so
well,
you just say, I disagree. This is how I feel. I see that you feel this way. And we'll think about, why don't we do some more research? I'll read more about what you have to say, and you read more about what I have to say. We'll talk about it next week. Just not come to a solution, not solve the problem. Don't solve the problem. It's the same thing with girls. Don't solve the problem. Just acknowledge that they have a different view than you, and do not try and convince them that you are right, because you don't. It's not your job. What they think is none of your business,
well, then what do you think about?
unless it's your
I agree,
family
I agree with what you're
or
saying.
something.
Well, how do you feel about the people that? Because there's a lot of people that will hear maybe something you said today, some belief that you have that you feel strongly about, and they don't like you anymore because of what you just said here today.
What other people think of me is none of my business.
I know, but what I'm saying is, let's say it's a friend or a coworker or something. They saw this podcast, pretend you said something they didn't like.
I probably
they don't-
offended somebody, especially.
No, I'm just saying hypothetically. Like, how would you go about that? Someone you've known for a long time. Because I've said stuff before.
Thank you for your opinion. Have a good day.
But
But you're cool. Just have
see,
them.
I love you. I'm glad that you taught me something different, and let me think about it. I'll get back to you next week. Do not solve the problem. Don't.
Well,
It's
there
not
is
my
no problem.
responsibility just to have a solution to the issue at hand.
well, I think what Max is trying to get at is, well, first of all, try to put yourself in the exact situation, because you're thinking right now a very logical aspect of it and not how you'd actually be feeling when you're in the moment.
You mean emotional?
Emotional and logical, combine the two. And then the second part is this person is someone you care about. This is somebody that you don't want to just be gone out of your life, or say adios. You know, you don't want to let this difference in opinion mess
So-
the relationship.
Right.
up.
Right. So I have a son, and he's really good at spending a lot of time with people. And I think the most important thing is to listen how the other person feels and say, okay, I see how you feel. Let me think about it. You don't have to solve the problem right away. Unless somebody's dying, you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to do nothing. Just say, I respect your opinion. Now, if you want to argue your point and saying, I'm going to prove to you why God exists, and you have you have experience with that, if you've gone through that and you know what you're talking about, then you can speak. But if you don't know what you're talking about, and it's
But
just,
what if you just want to say your experience?
you can say, I
Like
feel
even if you're wrong and
You
Just
can
your
say, I
experience to
feel
whatever the
differently
situation is.
because of A, B, and C. That's all. And you can't get emotionally attached to how somebody else feels.
I know, but people do. So how do we go about that? Because
You-
there's
you-
gonna be there's been people that have watched me
Yeah,
or
you
Jayden on this
have
that
to-
don't
you
like
have
us
to-
anymore.
That's okay. It's okay if they don't like you. You have to dissociate from how they feel. It's not your job to tell them that they should agree with how you feel. That's their business.
All right.
And it's none of your business. You stay out of it. You just leave them alone. You walk away.
So it's okay just letting people.
You have to agree to disagree.
They're gonna, spread lies about you. They're
Yeah,
gonna go
because
around
that's what happens.
rumor.
They'll say you said something, and then they'll say that you said something 10 times worse than what you actually said
Be
to
hum-
other people.
Yeah, that's happened to me. Just be humble.
That's happened.
To be humble and the truth always comes out.
Truth does come out.
It always comes out. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to get upset. You don't have to be emotional. Or you could say, I'm sad that you feel that way about me because I said that. I didn't mean it the way you interpreted it. And I'm sorry there's disagreement, but it's okay to disagree.
Like how you said, I'm sad instead of I'm sorry.
Right. I'm sad. I'm sad that uh, one of my children won't talk to me because I said something bad about.
But don't you think that you can always? Well, I think that you can come to like at least and under. They don't have to agree. They don't even have to.
You have to agree to disagree.
But don't you think you can get them to see where you're coming from?
It's not your job. You explain it to
Well-
them once, and that's it. You're done.
So here's the thing. This podcast that we're on right now,
Yeah.
it's the whole goal was to help better people, um, who are like minded, right? They understand what we're talking about and identify with it as something they're going through, and kind of talk it out, figure out a way where we can make that problem better for them or something like that. And then so when somebody disagrees with us,
I don't know. There's just something over there.
when somebody disagrees with us and is really like getting very emotional about it, it's almost like a want. You're right, it's not necessary. I don't need to.
You're
don't
doing that
need-
for yourself. You're
you're
not
do-
doing it for them. They have to come to their own conclusion. They're big people, and it's not your job to explain it to them once you've explained it to them once. That's it.
So you're saying I'd make one attempt
One
to get an
attempt.
understanding, and if it doesn't fail, you tried your best.
If it
It
fails,
If it fails,
then you tried your best at that moment in time. A week or two later, they may come back to you and want to have a discussion again. You may want to go back to them and say, you know what, I thought about what you said. You know what, you had a good point. I didn't think about that. So just take your time. Don't come
Yeah.
to an
it's
immediate
easier
answer.
said than done though when
Well,
'cause you don't have the
because
exact. Imagine the exact person, like it's someone very close to you.
you can't let emotions get in the way. That's the problem.
That's also just easier said than done.
Yeah,
Because you're talking to two 23-year-old boys who probably forgot we probably forgot we even had emotions the past 2-3 years. Like that's difficult.
a lot of times when men become angry, they're actually sad, depressed, or fearful.
Yeah,
And they don't know, they want to escape that, so they get angry. They get very angry and they talk louder, and the women get afraid, or the person gets afraid, and it's because of usually a fear or something else. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Is that what that means?
Yeah, of course.
You want to go check?
Yeah.
1 second.
We're on pause, guys. In the meantime, it's great talking to you guys. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah, guys. We'll keep it going for a little bit longer. I'm Joe. We just got to go over what we kind of thought. You just want to go over chat before we go into it.
It wasn't too much.
It's your dad.
It was?
I mean, it was slow.
Yeah,
Good.
I-
And then
Say
BGOSB said, "Damn, y'all got producers giving 5-minute warnings. Y'all professional."
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right. I'm just gonna go over my opinion. Joe, you're gonna go over yours, and I think that will conclude it for today. I personally, I think in a scenario, honestly, my opinion has changed. What the answer that I was gonna say before listening to the two of you has completely changed to what I'm about to say. Earlier, I was thinking to myself, I want to make an effort because I'm like I like being persistent. It's a new trait that I've learned because I used to be very submissive to a twin sister, to
Oh,
a
God.
family of 9, to to a lot of people. So a new trait that I've been working on has been being persistent and making sure that my voice is heard. So my
Good
first
shit, Jay.
so my first answer was gonna be I want to like Max said, come to a understanding of maybe not who's right, but why certain points here are right, why certain points there are right, and same for the other person. Certain scenarios, have a good conversation. But then while listening to the two, I had a thought that um, that um, that I have such little control, and everything really feels like to the need to want that. Like Albert said, it's selfish. You're doing it for yourself. When he said those words, it made me think, okay, maybe he's right. Maybe I want to do it out of a sense of a need for control over how other people view me, how other people see me, and it's not me truly trying to help, but it's me trying to help myself. Um, so while simultaneously helping myself by saying, you know what, I can't control them. I have to let go of that image of other people. I also, at the same time, would 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 uh would be as respectful as possible. Is how I would handle the situation and make sure that my relationship with that person doesn't get ruined, and to really stretch it out. So maybe sometime in the future we can come to that discussion again.
Yeah, I I agree with everything you're saying, but I think because we gotta assume like this person, they're not an absolute psychopath. I think that you can always come to some understanding even if you don't agree. You can understand where they get their views from and respect it, but you don't always have to agree on it. Like I think that I feel like anything that we disagree with in this room right now, no matter how outlandish it might be, we can see why they got that understanding.
There's some people who can't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
It's really healthy to disagree. It's normal to disagree. We were born to disagree. And you standing up for yourself I'm very happy that you're able to do that, because I understand what it's like to be squashed by a family member and not be able to express my emotions and not even know what a feeling is. And I'm really proud.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really happy for you. And I'm getting tired now, so I'm losing my train of thought. But and you could say, let me sleep on it. I'll give you an answer in the morning. That's a song, by the way. Yeah, it's a really good song. So I'm going to end right now by just saying I'm really proud of you guys, and you have to stand up for yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anybody else. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't help nobody. And it says somewhere in the Bible, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? Nobody. You got to care about yourself. And you got to know that if there is a God, that God does love you.
Yep.
And there you go.
That is a hell of a way to end it right there. I couldn't have said that better.
I don't think we need an outro. I think that we should just leave those words just like that. Leave them like that, man. I mean, that was real good stuff there. I want to clap it up. Let's clap it up for Mr. Albert. Clap it up. W first time on the pod.
I gotta say, I haven't had entertainment like in 10 years from what you said tonight. Joe, right?
Joe.
Yeah, that was the best.
That, man. I try.
He's good at what he does.
Joe,
That was a good.
I'll be thinking about you all night long.
Wait,
No,
please
no,
don't.
Whoa.
The
Like that.
laughter, you made me laugh.
Nah, I know. I'm just playing around. We
Walk this
joking
podcast back.
around.
I'm just like picturing the whole damn thing, and I'm like laughing.
Well, you can watch this. This will be up on YouTube in the next couple days. You can watch this video.
What he said is
Yeah.
stuck in my mind now for until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well,
And by the
so
way,
Hmm?
what you said is very normal, by the way.
thank you, man. Thank you for making my feelings feel better.
And I'm gonna disagree.
All right, that's
Yeah.
for another day. That's for another day, Max. That's for another day, Max.
For another episode.
Yep.
BGOSB, you want to read those last three BGOSB?
Read the last
said?
couple
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, I got you. All right, so BJOSB said Mr. Albert got bars on bars. He said, if God is with me, who can be against me? And then he said, Mr. Albert got a return in the future for show. For
Yup.
show.
We take this thing back to San Diego.
Yep. All right.
All right, guys. Love you.
I bet that.
All right.
Appreciate
And I'm just
y'all
going
for
to say one
tuning
thing
in.
before we end.
Huh?
One more thing, Joe. One more thing.
Okay.
Everybody has the exact same challenge for this Thursday. Exact same one since we all failed, okay?
Do
Yep.
you want to make a new challenge for the special guest?
Special guest?
So it's pretty much what's something recently challenging that you've gone through, that a vice, a bad habit, something that you think will better yourself in the future. And we do these challenges to week by week. Every time we have a podcast, we check up on the challenge and how we've been doing.
Yeah. Or just something you want to do more, like exercise or drink more water, whatever it is.
It's really simple. To listen rather than speak.
Okay.
All right, there it is.
So that means for next, we're gonna have another podcast on Thursday. So we'll check up on you. I'll text you.
Text him.
That means you got to be mindful of that challenge.
Whew, that's a tough one for me.
Yeah.